True to New York sports. Welcome back, episode number
Yo,
8.
yo, yo,
Mr.
yo.
Boogie and myself, Boogie. What is going on, my brother? How's everything going today?
Everything's good, man. Nice and boring Super Bowl.
Nice and fun and exciting Super Bowl. Listen, the most exciting thing about that Super Bowl, in my opinion anyway, was the halftime show. Wasn't the weekend awesome?
No, he was not.
Stop it, Boogie. The weekend was great. I don't understand. You're like the 10th person to say that the weekend didn't do a good job. I thought he did phenomenal.
I'm a fan of his, but I mean, it wasn't spectacular. He could have did a lot better. So, in my opinion,
I disagree. I think he took a really good concept. I like that he didn't have anybody else with him. It was just him. He. If you've watched all of his music videos too, they
Go
all
ahead,
kind
Chris.
of panned in together.
Fresh
Chris,
air.
hello, what's going on? I'm sure you're going to criticize me on that too. But overall, I thought the halftime show was good. Listen, more importantly, the Super Bowl. I mean, I Boogie, let's just get right into it, Boog. Super Bowl 55, Tom Brady does it again. I mean, listen, I really didn't think Tom Brady was going to win his 7th Super Bowl this year. I didn't think it was impossible, but after everything that happened with the Chiefs this week, it kept leading more and more toward the Buccaneers winning, between their best O lineman out, to Andy Reid's son in the DUI incident, to
Yeah, but you know what? They interviewed him and they asked him about that, and he said, one thing doesn't have nothing to do with other. I mean, obviously, as a human aspect, he felt, upset, but they already had the game plan set up a whole week ago. So, like,
yeah.
one didn't have nothing to do with the other. So, as far as that's concerned, let's not be one of those guys where we throw excuses out there for the people who
Oh,
hate
no,
Tom
no, no.
Brady. Because I personally
There is
don't
no
hate Tom
excuse.
Brady because he personally handed me 2 Super Bowl rings for my New York Giants. So I don't hate the guy. You know
I
what I'm
agree.
saying? But to me, Tampa Bay defense definitely should have got the MVP. And I told you guys that defense was going to play a key in this. I just thought that the Chiefs were going to participate also.
Right,
But
right,
this was
right. You
a
thought it was going to be
completely
more than just one team.
lopsided game. Like I never would have guessed in my wildest dreams that this was going to be a lopsided game.
No,
What?
listen.
No touchdowns? Did he have no touchdowns?
0 touchdowns, Boogie. 3 field goals that got me a third quarter and final Super Bowl box. What up? Thank you, Jay Nickel, for that. I don't know if you're watching this, but thank you very much for that. Um, but listen. Let's get right down into the beginning of the game. Okay, so Chiefs defer the ball. Tom Brady goes 3 and out right off the start. Right off the start. I don't know about you, but on the page, I'm already typing like, well, this is it. The Chiefs defense is here. They're stopping Tom Brady. Blah
Oh yeah,
blah
Chris.
blah.
Chris had the thread going for the Super Bowl.
Right, Chris.
Shout
Yeah.
out to Chris for that. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Listen, I thought it was going to be a shootout, and not for nothing. Everyone that's going to give me shit about saying that it wasn't going to be a shootout, I bet none of you thought that the Kansas City Chiefs were only going to score 9 points this game. Did
That's right.
anybody think?
But I did tell you that it was going to be defense oriented though.
Was it though? It was only a one-sided defense-oriented game.
But I knew that they was going to show up. I just thought that the Chiefs defense. I mean, obviously they don't have the same defense that Tampa has, but I thought that their defense would at least show up. I mean, I thought. But see, you got let's take this a little bit further.
Let's go. Let's go quarter. Let's go quarter by quarter. I want to hear how you thought the game was going as you kept watching that game yesterday. Talk to me.
Well, like I said, I think the Chiefs they got off to a early lead with the field goal. They had a little drive, but then the defense stopped them, right?
Right.
So it was looking like how I thought the game was going to go. It was going to be a low scoring defensive game, but then, like I said, it's hard to like sectionalize quarter by quarter because, like I said, it was a lot of the same thing. It was a lot of the same thing. The running backs on Tampa Bay started picking up steam. Then Tom Brady he all of a sudden Gronkowski, Gronk, he just started like becoming that 1-2 punch that they terrorized with on the Patriots. So it was like, and then AB jumped into the mix. So it was like, yo, like, what are the Chiefs doing? Like, they kept having penalty after penalty after penalty. So I saw a lot of people crying, saying, "Oh, the refs, this is a terrible call game, this, that, whatever." But at the end of the day, Tampa Bay defense was hustling out there, And the Chiefs defense, I didn't see that same energy. Also, too, the offensive line for Pat Mahomes, I haven't seen him get rushed
Horrendous.
like that, like in any game. Like
Horrendous.
I don't care who you are as a quarterback. Because you saw the dancing that this guy was doing. I was actually impressed that he didn't get sacked more times than he did. You know what I'm saying? Because he had no time.
26 times yesterday.
Yeah, he had no
26
time.
times he had to run out of the pocket yesterday.
No time. And he still was making spectacular throws. But at the end of the day, they double teamed they double teamed Tyreek Hill. And that was all she wrote, because I told you that Kelsey wasn't going to have that big of a game. I said that in my preview as well. You know, like I knew that they was going to key in on their key offensive weapons, and they did. And I didn't think they was going to shut them down like that. Nobody could have guessed that they was going to shut them down like that. No. Nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, Kelsey actually had a really good fantasy day. He had over 130 yards receiving and with like 10 receptions. But the problem was that all these passes to him because were little dumps. They were 6-7 yarders that just because that was his go-to, because Mahomes was
all the time he had. That's all the time he had.
He was rushed the entire game. It was unbelievable how
it was a spectacular defensive match right there, boy.
And listen, the fact also that I was a little worried when this game started, the fact that Kansas City was still giving 3.5 to Tampa after everything that was happening, on top of Tampa being home, was saying to me, like, something is wrong here. Because I thought this game was going to wind up being a pick'em game after Tampa beat the Green Bay and they were going to be home. I thought it'd be pick'em. I didn't think it was going to be.
Nobody thought this was going to be a blowout. Nobody. There's nobody on the planet that can tell me that they thought that this was going to be the outcome of the game. Nobody thought that. I don't even think that Tampa Bay thought they was going to do that. But we also said too that in order for Tampa Bay to win this game, they had to play perfect football, and they damn near played perfect football. You know what I'm saying?
Like, they really did. They really did.
You can't take nothing away from. I mean, they got a whole bunch of throwaways on their team, and they made it work. Like, and you seen the progress as the season went on. Like, because they weren't even thought of even being that much of a threat in the playoffs to begin with, and now all of a sudden, like as they continued and got their momentum, bro, like that defense was unstoppable. Fournette, Jones, like they were like they turned into Henry. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like.
No, I know. It's sick.
So now, if you give Tom Brady, who is the greatest quarterback ever to live right now, like you have to give that to him. If you give Tom Brady a defense like that and a running game and time to throw, like
game over.
I mean, if you gave Pat Mahomes that, obviously, but what I'm trying to say is, if you give Tom Brady that, there's no shot. There's no shot.
No
you know
shot.
And then they asked him, "Are you coming back?" Of course, of course. Like, you know how easy this was? Of course, I'm coming back.
No, listen, and listen. If the O-line, listen, Tom Brady keeps
himself. Yeah, the kicker. Imagine the kicker is the leading scorer on Kansas City. Exactly.
Right. Exactly. Right. No, unreal. I mean, and listen. Also, you have to realize that if Tom Brady at 43 years old can do this now, right? As long as his O-line is protecting him, he has nothing to worry about. As long as he keeps in shape, he can keep going because he's not
more than protect him. It did more than protect him. The man was building a house back there. He was just
he got sacked once yesterday. He got sacked once, and I remember saying like, "Oh, here comes the defense in Kansas City." But that's all it was. Is that the Chiefs were missing 2 O linemen. They just were. It didn't seem like they were ready for yesterday.
Yo, Biggs, you're absolutely correct. Like Brady gets all the credit, but I said this earlier in the show. The defense should have had the MVP. It was all defense right there, man. Like they won that. Like I mean, yes, Brady. Like I said, he puts himself in that position to always win. But that defense, whoo.
No, they play great. And you know what? I'm kind of happy to see JPP, a former Giant, win another Super Bowl.
Yo, did you hear that stat that they said that he's never lost in the playoffs? That was
never lost in the playoffs.
That's pretty impressive.
That's pretty sick.
He hasn't been in the playoffs that often, but when he's in there, he don't lose.
Well, he's in the playoffs when he doesn't blow up his fucking hand for fireworks. So he's actually able to play. But listen, I'm happy that he won. I'm happy for Mike Evans. To be honest, I'm even happy for Antonio Brown because that
Yo, did you
guy.
know Adamaka Suh was on that team too?
Yeah, I know.
I said they got a whole team of throwaways and they just
And they
put
made
it
it work.
together, man. Like,
And they made it work.
Yo,
Yeah,
even Bruce Arians, like the oldest coach to win a Super Bowl, he got to give him credit because he said, he was running his offense. Tom Brady looked terrible in it. Tom Brady whispered him, "Yo, let me run my offense.
right.
I know how to win." He said he had enough pride to say, "You know what? Okay, you got it, Tom." Got him a ring.
And it worked. And what's crazy about yesterday's game too is that yesterday Gronk and Brady became the best duo to score touchdowns together after Brady threw Gronk 2 touchdowns yesterday. It's so funny because you barely saw Gronk offensively throughout the whole playoffs. Even during the year, there would be spurts of seeing Gronk. But no, Gronk knew his role. Gronk's role, and a lot of people don't understand this, was to protect Tom Brady for most of the time. Rob Gronkowski is 6'6", almost 300 pounds of pure muscle. Okay, this guy is blocking for Brady. Yesterday, the 2 touchdowns were little. One was a slant, and one was a nice little end zone 10-yard touchdown.
Right.
That's what Gronk and Brady have done their entire career.
Well, Chris, to point on to jump on that point that you're trying to say they weren't really throwaways. Let's look at it. You got Fournette, who was released, basically gave away by the Jaguars, correct? You got AB, who has been tossed around the league because the dude was a malcontent, right? Adamaka Suh. Who wanted Adamaka Suh? The dude, we thought the dude's washed up. JPP, washed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, Gronkowski was retired. He was retired, dog. So don't tell me that they didn't have a team full of throwaways. They had a team full of throwaways, dog. You know what I'm saying? And they put it together. So, I mean, it is what it is. You got to give them credit. So, yeah, they did.
But what I like about this Buccaneers team is that it seemed that, like, egos aside, everyone had their role. Like, even Leonard Fournette.
You're right, Jolly. Yeah, he was one of the lead blockers.
Of course he was, yeah. And listen, and like I was saying, listen, Leonard Fournette coming into this year was one of the better rushing yard running backs in the season, right? He comes into Tampa Bay, and at first when he was playing with Tampa, it wasn't him, it was Ronald Jones. Leonard Fournette took over when playoffs started because Fournette started playing better than Jones.
Right.
And you saw that when Jones didn't score at the 1-yard line twice yesterday.
Yep.
And they decided to take Jones out. They put Fournette back in. Fournette scored for 30 yards, and that's it. And you know what?
Embarrassment of riches right there.
Right. Everyone knew their role. Leonard Fournette took his ego aside, said, you know what? I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes. I'm here to win. And that's exactly what he did. That's what Gronk did. That's what Antonio Brown did. That's what every single person did on that Buccaneers team, and that's why they won yesterday. They literally, you took 8 Pro Bowlers and you got their egos on the side and said, listen, we're gonna win a championship. Who cares about stats? And they did.
You're right, Justin. They probably did get tired of everybody talking about how great the Chiefs offense is because it looked like they took it personally. And boy, did they shut the Chiefs down.
Right, they really did. No, they did.
I just can't give that team. I just can't give that defense more credit. Like, I just can't. It's ridiculous how they played, bro. Like, they made the Super Bowl boring.
They really did. It's crazy. It's crazy how this Kansas City Chiefs team yesterday, out of the 18 games that we saw them play before yesterday, didn't look like them at all. Like, it was like a whole new team.
Is that right, Trey? LaShawn McCoy got his second Super Bowl without even playing in the game. He won with
he won with the Chiefs last year.
Man,
right? Isn't that where LaShawn McCoy got it with the Chiefs last year? 100%.
Wow,
so that's crazy. And listen, Le'Veon Bell would have had the same thing. Le'Veon Bell was not in that one snap yesterday.
I told you he was a non-factor anyway.
I really thought Le'Veon Bell was going to be a factor for this team for the simple fact.
And they're playing from behind too, so
Yeah, I really thought that they were going to do something there. I really thought. By the way, guys, if you are not, please like and share this this podcast with us. We're trying to get some more people to come take and talk with us today. So please like and share it so that people can notice what we were talking about. But let's get on to the next subject, Boogie, besides the Super Bowl. But talking about the Super Bowl, Mr. Tom Brady wins number 7. Boogie, I mean,
What else can you say? Look at the rings. Look at the rings.
Right.
Like, what else can you say about the guy?
You
I
can't.
mean, let's put this in perspective, right?
So
He
real quick
made it.
though.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
He made a dynasty with the Patriots, right? He said
Right.
him and Belichick probably had a little falling out behind the scenes. So they said, you know what? Let's just break clean. I'm gonna leave, right? So
Right.
Belichick said, go ahead, try to win without me. Hold my beer. He went to Tampa Bay. Now, see, this is why you have to give this guy credit. This is ridiculous. He went to a Tampa Bay team that nobody was even talking about to be a contender. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like he jumped on a team that was ready made to win. You know, he didn't jump on a team like that. He jumped on when people said he signed to Tampa. Like, why? Like, why Tampa? It's like he had a plan, bro. Like, he got Tampa. He asked for certain people that he wanted on the team. Like I said, he created the offense to be his style offense, and he
Sure
took.
did.
And nobody was even like every week you hear all the experts talking. You even hear us talking. We didn't put Tom Brady as the threat. How dumb were all of us? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Outside of the actual Brady fans, like the actual Brady fans who are going to say Tom Brady's going to win regardless anyway. But this guy went and changed conferences and won the Super Bowl against a kid that's supposed to be the face of the NFL. So this is win number 7. There's nothing that anybody can say right now to say that they're a better a quarterback than Tom Brady is. Not
Right.
and my home. If you want to go with the Mahomes train, you got to use that game. That game killed Mahomes like steam right there because I mean you got to give Mahomes credit. But what I'm trying to say is now Brady almost made it impossible for him to catch him. You know what I'm saying? And
No,
then
I
the
almost right.
opportunity to face him in the Super Bowl, and you got killed. You didn't score 1 touchdown. Like Tom Brady said, "Yo, I'm the GOAT. Stop trying to compare other people to me. This is I'm a quarterback, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? And that's
Right.
Brady wins number 7, man.
Let me tell you also why I think this might be one of his best Super Bowls ever. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why. One, for most of the time when Tom Brady is in the playoffs, he is usually the number 1 or 2 seed, right? As
Right.
as the Patriots. He came in as a number 5 seed. He played Washington on the road, one of the best defenses in the league.
At the
Beat
time.
them at the time. Beat them. Went to New Orleans against Drew Brees. Everyone's saying Drew Brees is going to win this game because this is Drew Brees' last year. Beat New Orleans in New Orleans. Goes to Green Bay against the MVP Aaron Rodgers and probably the best offensive team in the league for the last couple of weeks and beats them in Lambeau Field and then takes out the number 1 team in the league of the Kansas City Chiefs,
Number 1
even though they were
offense.
home. Right, number 1 offense, even though they were
Made them look
home.
like the number last offense.
He still beat Washington. He beat the Saints. He beat the Packers, and then he beat the Chiefs. And this was all as the underdog every single game. They were favored in the Washington game points wise, but home field advantage wise, they were playing in Washington. Simple as that.
Jolly, I 100%, and I said that too because Brady didn't play well. He didn't play well in a lot of those games in the playoffs. The defense did definitely carry him, but you can't say anything bad about him in the Super Bowl because he did what was necessary to win. You know what I'm saying? Like his
Correct.
defense played amazing, but he did his part. You know, he could have played just as bad. If he played just as bad as he did against Green Bay, I'm pretty sure the score wouldn't have been what it was. But
Right.
since the defense and his offense clicked at the same time, he made the Super Bowl unwatchable.
But
So
you know
yes,
what?
he did get carried.
But also, you got to remember, he didn't have a good game against Green Bay. But the
Yes,
one play that he did was
he made
that
it count. Yeah,
he made
he made it
he
count.
scored that touchdown to Scotty Miller with
Yeah.
1 second to go at the half. They went up 2 possessions there compared to instead of being up 4 at the half, they went up 11 at the half
That's right.
off of that one play. So Tom Brady, stats wise, against the Packers, didn't have a great game, but he made it. He did enough to win. That's all you got to do. That's all you
Hey,
got to do.
hey, you win games. That's all that counts.
That's all that counts. And he did it.
Yeah.
And he fucking did it. I still can't believe he did it. Listen. I really thought that Mahomes, this was going to be the game for Brady to pass the torch to Mahomes.
That's what a lot of people thought, man.
But
that's what a lot of people thought.
It didn't happen. It's crazy. It's
Like,
unreal.
what I'm trying to say is like like kind of how like what Jolly was saying. It's like they had so many screens. It's like when they had the run game and then they set the screens up back to back. And then once they set the screens up in the run game, so now the defense is looking for the short game, and then he throws bombs. So it's like he mixed it up so well that he had the Chiefs defense on their heels the whole game. And that's a game manager right there, you know?
Right. And you know what's crazy too? His number 1 and 2 wide receivers yesterday barely saw any of the ball yesterday. You did not see a lot of Chris Godwin. You did not see a lot of Mike Evans. Yesterday, he was throwing a good amount of passes to Gronk. He threw a good amount of passes to Cameron Brate. He threw a good amount of passes to Antonio Brown. He threw
it to the guys he really trusts, man.
Right. Yeah, right.
I mean, look at the drop passes that Mahomes threw, because he was in trouble and he was throwing spirals, falling down, and still tipping it off guys' hands. You know what I'm saying? Because that defense was clamping on him. So right. Tom Brady, he put it to the guys he trusts, man. He closed his eyes and throw it to Gronk. He know Gronk gonna take it home. You know, they did that way too many times.
Way too many times, and I just can't.
Like I said, AB too, yeah, AB.
Listen. I'm happy for Tom, but the whole debate of whether or not is Tom Brady the GOAT. Listen, Tom Brady has more championships now than franchises do. He literally has more championships than any other NFL franchise does in the history of the NFL. He's literally a team of his own.
Do you think that's what he told Matthew?
I think that's what he told him. Yes, I think that's what he told him. He goes 7. He went 7. You know, so it looked like something else, but he said 7. No, listen. And to go into that real quick, he called him a bitch. Okay, listen. If Tom Brady said something racist to him, we would have heard about it right after the game. It would have hurt Tom Brady's legacy. I'm not one for racism at all. My co-host is very white, as you can see. But what I'm saying is that if Tom Brady did say something like that, it would have been all over the news. He was mic'd up. He didn't say that. Trust me, he didn't say that.
Yeah, right? But you know, at the end of the day, he shows what kind of character he is. He knew he was in the heat of the moment. Whatever he said, and then he texted the dude and apologized and everything. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the dude's showing that he's a go off the field too. So
right, exactly, right. You know, and listen, not for nothing. It's competitive NFL last game of the year football. I wouldn't, if they weren't talking to each other, I would be like, "What is going on?" You know what I mean? Like,
he's a competitor, man.
He's competitive. Right, that's all it is. That's all it is. And you know, and I'm glad Tom Brady actually had a mic on him, so that way there isn't any accusations about it. You know, because and honestly, that's how you, with the era that we live in today, you kind of have to do that. You know, it's crazy, but you just have to do that. But all right, anyways. So let's talk about the other elephant in the room right now. Besides Tom Brady winning number 7, was Patrick Mahomes at fault for this Super Bowl?
Look at his face, man. Come on, he's upset.
Look at his face right here.
He's upset, man.
He's upset. And listen, you got Michael Jordan now supporting right here. Patrick Mahomes. Do you guys think, Boogie, let me ask you, is Patrick Mahomes at fault for this Super Bowl loss? Or is there a percentage that he is at fault?
He is the leader of the offense. So Correct. He has to have a percentage of faults. There's things that he could have did to change because, like I said, he's still early in his career, but if you're just going to start calling him the GOAT in face of the NFL, then you have to have the responsibility of being able to adjust. And adjust is not what happened there. I mean, you got to blame that on the coaches. You got to blame that on him. You got to blame that on that offensive line who did absolutely nothing to stop the defense from touching that man. 2 seconds. They back there with him. It's like they was
26 times rushed yesterday.
So, yeah, he has to bear some of the responsibility, but it's not all on him. And, you know how difficult it is to win back-to-back Super Bowls? And the fact that he's there, he made it there, you got to give the kid credit. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see him again.
And he was hurt. And he was hurt.
He got to get toe surgery for that turf toe. Well, like I said, but I'm not an excuse guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? You were healthy enough to get on the field. He had the toe issue, whatever, but that's not what I'm going to go by. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm pretty sure he's not using that as an excuse. You know what I'm saying? And he even said it in the interview. He said, they play better than us. And that's the classiest way to go out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that defense had them on skates. There's nothing they could have did. That defense, they played a perfect football game on the defensive side, and they played damn near perfect on the offensive side. So
Right.
what could you do as in Mahomes' shoes? What could you have done differently to stop that rush that they was getting? Not only stop the rush, but the fact that your main guns is getting double teamed out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Agreed.
you tell me.
No, listen. Honestly, also, there was probably about 7 minutes of scrimmage yesterday of Patrick Mahomes just running around like crazy, and you can't blame him for trying to win that football game yesterday when he was rushed as much as he was. Because I can tell you right now, if Kansas City scored 9 points with all of that happening with Patrick Mahomes, any of the quarterback that was happening to is not even getting into the red zone or the opportunity for a field goal, in my opinion. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers played such a good game yesterday. Nobody was scoring on them yesterday. Nobody. There was just nobody scoring on him yesterday. They were double teaming Tyreek Hill. They were forcing Travis Kelce to block for Mahomes because Mahomes was getting rushed so much.
Right.
They had a game plan, and Todd Bowles couldn't be a head coach for the Jets, but you know what? I got to give him credit.
Good job. Yeah.
He did a really freaking good job yesterday at shutting down Pat.
And like Justin said, that they didn't quit. Like I watched the game. They didn't play a quitting football. You know what I'm saying? Like on the offense, they was getting locked down. They was still trying. They did. I mean, especially Mahomes. I saw Mahomes doing Fran talking moves out there. Like he's dipping and diving, ran back 30 yards, cutting back just to try to get a throw. I seen he did a throw where he was damn near parallel with the floor.
He was a spiral. And he almost
threw a spiral. You know what I'm saying? So they tried. They gave it their best, man. But they got outplayed. So you can't squarely put that on Mahomes, no, because he definitely put it on the line out there. So I wouldn't blame him, and I don't think anybody else should blame him either.
No. Listen. I don't want to blame Mahomes for this, but you are the captain of your offense. You do have to. It would have been nice if he at least had a touchdown in there or something, because it just looks bad that you don't have any touchdowns, 2 interceptions when you can't do it. Even though the defense was great, it's one of those things where he did give all of his heart. I don't blame Mahomes for any of that, and especially like I said, they were out his 2 best O linemen. They doubled Tyreek Hill. There was a couple of drop passes too that
quite a few key drop passes.
It's one of those things where you can't really blame Mahomes. It's just it's a learning experience.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes. Listen, this was Patrick Mahomes' first double-digit loss of his 3-year career. First double-digit loss.
What does that say?
What does that say about him? He's played over 50 football games with the playoffs included, and they haven't lost more than 2 possessions. That's unbelievable. That means that Patrick Mahomes keeps them in every single game. And except this one. Right, except one. So we're going to see
the main game, the big stage.
Right.
It wasn't their night. You're right. It wasn't their night, but what a hell of a night to not be your night.
Right, exactly. And you know what? And not for nothing, Patrick Mahomes, we all know this, and if you don't think this, you're crazy. He's going to be back in the Super Bowl, whether it's next year or the year after.
I definitely think we're going to see him in the Super Bowl again.
This is not going to be the last time we see Pat Mahomes. That's just no. Like let's be for real here. He's going to get better. He's only going to get better, right?
And I'm pretty sure the organization is going to improve on that O line. They're going to give him some more options on offense.
I'm sure they will.
Defense has to improve. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things to work on.
We also have to remember, last year, the Chiefs were down at the half against the 49ers, and Mahomes came back. Mm-hmm. So it's not like Mahomes had an easy Super Bowl last year, and then it's like, oh, well, what did he learn from this? Like, Mahomes has made comebacks before in the biggest game, okay? Yeah. When they were down by 2 possessions yesterday, I didn't count Mahomes out until the game was over.
That's the one thing. When a team is getting slaughtered like that, like most people, even fair weather fans, they would probably just turn the Super Bowl off. But majority of people still watch just to see, because Mahomes has that quality of being a comeback quarterback. So just to see, like, yo, is this going to be one of the most amazing comebacks ever. You know what I'm saying? Like we still was trying to see because, like I said, the effort was made. You know,
Correct.
it didn't look like he gave up. So I mean, it didn't pan out that way. But since
Correct.
it's him, you did think that maybe that was a possibility. You know?
Right. And Justin, to answer your question, how are they going to add somebody with him eating 45 million of the salary cap? I'm going to tell you right now, the same way that Tom Brady got everybody on his team.
Yep.
Everyone takes pay cuts. If they want to win a Super Bowl, if you want to win a Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, you're going to take pay cuts. It's just simple as that. You know, yeah, Patrick Mahomes probably was a little greedy, guaranteeing himself the $45 million a year. But if somebody wants to play with Patrick Mahomes and they're not on that team and they want to try to win the Super Bowl, they're going to take pay cuts. Antonio Brown is making $2 million a year. If I were to tell you last year that Antonio Brown was, if I would have told you 2 years ago Antonio Brown is going to take a contract for $2 million, you would be laughing in my face. That's just
But Justin, but you got to understand too. Do you know how many players out there are fiending to get a ring, fiending to play with a phenom like Pat Mahomes? Like
right.
you got guys who already had money in their career, and now all they want to do is win. So you know that there's players out there that's willing to take a pay cut.
Correct.
Like I said, they did it. They did it for Tom. You know they'll do it for him because
Rob
Tom ain't gonna be around forever.
Gronkowski signed a $3 million deal. You know, Rob Gronkowski
he was on his couch.
Right. Rob was playing golf. And he got signed a 2 year, $6 million deal. like that's just how it is.
That's what it is, man.
But that's what but if you want to win a championship and you trust enough in your quarterback, that's what you're going to do. And that's what people are going to do to play with Patrick Mahomes if the Chiefs organization feels that they don't have enough weapons. In my opinion, I think the Chiefs need another wide receiver because their second wide receiver right now, besides Hill, and technically Kelsey's not a wide receiver, is Hardman. You have Hardman, you have Robinson, and you have
maybe in the draft they pick up some people, but the thing is, like the Tampa Bay exposed some holes in the Kansas City team that weren't exposed before. So
Correct.
now you see what they need to work on. They need to work on a little bit more pass rushes. So they need some linebackers out there. They need an offensive line to be a little bit strong. I mean, yeah, the original offensive line that they had, you know, without the injuries was good enough. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, they had nothing to back. They had no backups. You know what I'm saying? And
right, exactly.
You gotta have the next man step up. You know, in cases like this, because this is football, everybody gets hurt. You know, and then like Lou said, definitely need another option on offense.
Right,
the running back situation is definitely like what. Imagine him having a run game. Like I'm talking about a running back. Imagine them having a running back that can run.
Right.
On top of that. So now that's an extra weapon that he can use, just like how Tom Brady did with the play actions and the screens and the misdirections. Mahomes can't do that.
Thanks, Justin.
He's just defeating you right off his arm. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, it's listen, and like we're saying, Mahomes is a pure talent. He's not going anywhere. He's going to be in the NFL for a very long time. He's going to bring the Chiefs back to the Super Bowl. But if they're going to learn anything off of this, I really do think that the Chiefs, and I said this a couple of weeks ago, I think the Chiefs need another wide receiver. And I understand that you have Tyreek Hill, and I understand that you have Travis Kelce, but perfect example yesterday is that when you shut down Hill and you shut down Kelce, there's no other option for Mahomes except his feet. Mahomes scrambled 15 times yesterday. Okay? That is a lot.
And more time for his life in the back.
Right, and more times for his life. Mahomes might have ran that field back and forth at least 20 times yesterday. Because there were times that Mahomes was running 20 yards the other way just to get out of the way.
That turf toes will have to get amputated. That's how much running he did on it.
Right, exactly. Right. So this is going to be about.
And look at how much guts that takes. If you had turf toe and you did all that, like you know, you was trying to win that game. So nobody can call him a quitter. You know what I'm saying?
No, he's not. No, he's Mahomes has a lot of heart. A lot of heart. He's very mature for a 24-year-old who's been to 2 Super Bowls now. It's going to be a great. Patrick Mahomes is a Hall of Famer in the making. Simple as that. He's going to be back in the Super Bowl, and I don't think it's fair for us to say that this was his fault when the defense allowed 31 points, and on top of that, nobody could get open because the Bucs defense was just too good.
Yeah,
simple as that.
Plain and simple.
Plain and simple. All right, but enough about the Super Bowl. Until next year, hopefully our Giants are make some moves, Boogie, so that we can actually be proud to have the Giants. Maybe Tom Brady should go to Dallas because that way Dallas actually experiences a Super Bowl once in a while, too. But
I'm happy. I'm happy with Dallas never winning.
I'm happy with that too. No, I'm great with that too. Yeah. It's been 25 years. I've been great with that.
I'm okay with that.
But anyways, on to the next subject, Boog. What is our next subject? I think we're talking basketball right now, right? Welcome back, Derrick Rose, to the Knicks.
Welcome back,
Derrick Rose, back to the Knicks. Boogie, let's get right into it, Boog. What does Derrick Rose bring to the table? The Knicks trade Derrick Rose for Dennis Smith Jr. and a second-round draft pick. Good trade, bad trade. What do you think about Derrick Rose?
I think they got Rose for free. That straight up, like for free, because Dennis Smith Jr. has said, "Let me play in the G League." Like that's how bad his confidence is. Like the dude knew that he was out the rotation, he was never going to play, so he said, "Let me just get some reps in the G League." So when you got a guy like that and you trade him and for a second round pick that we got from Charlotte, like that's a no brainer. Like yeah. So now what that tells me is the Knicks organization is trying to make a push for the playoffs. That's correct. What that tells me. So that in itself that gives me encouragement. Like, okay, they're trying to make moves. And this possibly is saying to us that they're probably going to make another move.
Right.
I just hope that they're not making moves that's going to stunt the main young guys on our team. That's the only thing I'm hoping. Like, I'm hoping this doesn't stunt quickly minutes. I'm hoping, what I'm saying, like any move that they make allows Barrett and Randall and Robinson. Like I need those core young guys to continue doing what they're doing. Toppin, what I'm saying? Like I liked what I saw with Toppin that last game, even though that was in a loss. And now he's starting to find his niche because that's his problem. He couldn't find his niche yet because Randall is like solidified that.
Because Randall's been absolutely killing it, and you can't take any minutes away from Randall right
now. Now, my opinion is though, now that you got Rose, put his ass in the starting lineup and get Payton the hell out of there, please. He had 2 good games in a row. I know you love the man. He had 2 good games in a row. He scored 20 points, first time in his career. He couldn't do it a third game. He couldn't even make layups. Like, get the man out of here, all right? And I heard they put him on a block. They might be trading him. So if you put him in the starting, if you put Rose in the starting lineup, and you got Quickly and Rivers, spending time, as the other guy. I mean, all 3 of them are probably going to split minutes because Derrick Rose is not a 40-minute, 38-minute person anyway, and he's probably going to get hurt at some point before the season's over. But this tells me that the Knicks are trying to, make a push, and I like this. I like this trade. I like it.
Are you done? Can a real sports talk person talk right now?
Well, if you are absolutely, I'm going to mute your mic.
If you think Derrick Rose needs to start right now,
yes.
It's just, why would Derrick Rose be the start? Why would it not be Payton or Quickly? Why would it not be Payton?
Quickly, I'll be okay with. But
Derrick Rose,
you really lobbying for Payton to start over Derrick Rose?
Needs to be leadership for this team. Okay, he needs to be leadership for this team.
He is leadership by playing,
not by starting. Though you're not hurt. The team
he could start, or if he comes off the bench, you gotta have Quickly start. Don't tell me Payton again, man. We're not starting this road again, bro.
No. Listen. Elfrid Payton, the last 2 out of 3 games, and I didn't say anything, was that he scored. He shows that he has the capability of being that floor general that I'm talking about. He had 22 points and 5 assists. 20 points and 4 assists, and then last game he didn't have a good game. I'm not saying that Elfrid Payton is Hall of Fame material like that you guys think that I make him. I think that Derrick Rose is a little too old. Stop.
32?
Stop.
32 too old?
With this offense, okay? I think that he should be the guides for Quickly and for Payton, if anything, and Payton and Quickly should still be getting the majority minutes instead of Rose. Rose had a good season last year with Detroit. Okay, he had a decent season last year with Detroit. Derrick Rose should not be taking minutes away from Quickly and Payton, in my opinion.
I don't think he should be taking minutes from Quickly, but he should take all the minutes away from Payton.
No, stop, man. The guy just
All the
scored 20
minutes.
points 2 games in a row, and then but no one wants to say
And then what
anything.
did he do after that?
Who
And
cares?
what did he do before that?
Okay, what about when Quickly went 1 for 11 a couple of games ago? 1 for 11 with 6 points.
Okay, and how often does Quickly have bad games, and how often does Payton have bad games? And
You
he's
are
a starting point guard. You know what Thibodeau said? Because they asked him that. You know what Thibodeau said? Why they have him in the starting lineup? Because
What'd he
because he's good defensively. Not because he's good, but because he's good defensively.
Payton is good defensive.
So once Quickly, let's not get this twisted. He's not no Gary Payton, so he's okay defensively. All right. Once Quickly catches up to the NBA style of play and starts to learn the players, and he gets his defense up, yo, you're not going to see Payton like this. I would be surprised if Payton is still on this team next year. Actually, I'd be surprised if Payton's still on this team before the season's over.
I wouldn't be surprised. First off, the Knicks trade everybody, so I wouldn't be surprised at all. That would. I just think that Payton is the better player right now, not scorer.
Better than who?
Quickly.
Wait. Payton's better than Quickly
right now. Overall, I'd rather have Payton on the floor.
I compare Payton to Frank Ntilikina. I think the only reason why Frank Ntilikina is not playing is because Payton is the same guy. No, and I think Frank can probably shoot. Frank can shoot better than him.
Frank, stop it. Frank.
And matter of fact, I think Frank can play better defense than him.
Stop it, Boogie. You're crazy. Boogie. You're absolutely.
Payton's trash, bro. I'm sorry.
You think Frank Ntilikina
is
better than Payton? That's the reason why Frank Ntilikina is the fourth point guard on this team right now.
I'm just saying Payton's trash.
No, Payton.
Derrick Rose is going to either start or he's going to be the main guy off the bench. And
I give him a main guy off the bench.
Main guy off the bench with Quickly starting.
I still think you need to have Payton in the starting lineup. Simple.
I think he helps the team regardless. And like I said, I know the direction of the team is going playoff mode now. They're not going to be satisfied with not going in the playoffs.
Here's the thing. Let's just hope that this Derrick Rose isn't the Derrick Rose that he was when he was with the Knicks a couple of years ago. Because that Derrick Rose,
he averaged 18 a game.
No. But he also only had like 2 assists a game, and when he was with the Bulls, he was averaging 20.
Can you look at that up? Did he average 2 assists a game?
I'll look it up right now.
Can you look that up? Because I don't think it was that low. Because I actually thought that's when he started to turn it around. And he started 64 games for the Knicks. So I don't think he played a terrible game. I just think that the team that he was on, because Phil Jackson tried to play triangle offense. I think that's what messed up that whole team.
So when Derrick Rose was on the team,
I know he averaged like 18 a game.
He averaged 18 points a game, 4 assists.
18 and 4. I mean,
it's not horrible.
It's not horrible at all. That's what I'm saying. He didn't do terrible on the Knicks. It's just the team.
No, but when he was with the Bulls, he was averaging 20 and 8. That's the thing, though.
Well, he's not an MVP. See, let's not get crazy. He's not MVP Derrick Rose. The dude had mad injuries. He has prosthetic legs. So
he had better seasons with Detroit too. He had a better season.
He played decent
recently.
He played decent.
Yeah. Listen, Derrick Rose is a 19-point a game career shooter. I'm not taking that away from him. I'm just afraid that he's going to take away from the younger guys. That's what I'm worried about with Derrick Rose coming to the team.
If you consider him the younger guy,
Payton is only 26 years old.
That if he's taking that younger guy's spot, then I'm okay with it.
Yeah, well, you're biased. You're being biased.
I'm being really
biased. The guy got Elfrid Payton has 2 20-point games, and all of a sudden
you haven't put those polls out that I asked you to put out. So you're gonna force me to.
I put up the baseball one, and you got destroyed in that one.
Please ask: should Derrick Rose start or should Elfrid Payton start?
I'm gonna lose.
Of course you're gonna lose because that's ridiculous.
I'm gonna lose.
It's ridiculous.
I like Elfrid Payton.
Actually, add Quickly in there too because I feel Quickly should start. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you know what? All the Knicks fans are gonna be young gunning for Quickly this, Quickly that. I'm impressed with Quickly scoring. I'm not impressed with Quickly's defense. That's why I like it.
If Payton is so good, why'd they get Rose? Because Payton ain't good.
They could say the same thing about Quickly. If Quickly's so good, why'd they get Rose?
Because Quickly is an up and coming point guard. That's why. Payton is the starter. That's the guy that they want to get rid of.
But if you're the New York Knicks, why are you not letting him develop? If you're grabbing
You
another
are
point
letting
guard?
him develop. He's getting fourth quarter minutes. Are you kidding me? He's not developing. You don't see this man improving.
No. But you're
In the league in free throw percentage. Like
you're
the guy is
taking minutes away from him now
Derrick
because
Rose is not gonna take
you're
minutes
adding
away.
another point guard.
He's taking Payton minutes away and possibly Rivers.
Rose
You know
needs
what I'm saying?
Rose needs to teach quickly things. And listen, I'm not disagreeing with you
Jeff,
that
can you please tell Lou that
I'm not disagreeing with you that Emmanuel Quickly can't be the future point guard for the Knicks. All I'm getting at right now is that Payton, and in a playoff spot that the Knicks are in right now,
Payton is your go-to starter.
As of right now, yes. They're winning games with him at starting. The 2 games that he scored 20 points, they won. The 2 games that they scored 20 points, they won. Remember that.
So if you're going to rely on the Knicks winning, if Elfrid Payton scores 20 points, do you know how bad we are?
Did you win the game?
Yeah, how often is Elfrid Payton going to score 20 points?
Like you said earlier, it was the first time in his career. It was the first time in his career that he scored 2 20-point games in a row, and they won it.
Bro, he tried, and he kept clinking layups, bro. Like, come on.
Stop.
He was trying. So, I don't know, man. I like this Rose deal.
I'm not saying it's a bad deal.
I think they're going to end up trading Payton. I think that's going to happen. And, you know what? Low-key, picking up Taj Gibson again, that was a really key move because Nerlens Noel can't seem to stay healthy.
Right now.
So having him as the third center, that's pretty good.
No,
as Robinson
and Taj Gibson,
Nerlens Noel rocket shots.
Reunited with Derrick Rose. They played together in Chicago.
He's rebuilding the old Bulls again. But let's not get crazy because, like I said, all of them are all aged now. You know what I'm saying? But I just like him as a third. I just like the pieces that they're doing right now. Like I like it, and as long as they don't hinder the young guys, I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it. All right, let's go to our next topic, Mr. Kevin Durant, or Mr. COVID-19, aka Mr. COVID-7. Kevin Durant cannot appear to pass these protocols, Boogie, and a lot of people are saying that the Nets are supposed to be the number 1 or 2 seed, but you know what? If you don't have Kevin Durant playing this game, they are slowly dwindling down. They're number 3 seed right now. They're 14-12. Boogie, what do you think about these protocols as far as Kevin Durant goes?
Well, I'm gonna put it to you like this, man. Like they got to tighten ship up over there in the Nets because you look at the Knicks, they don't even have one case. You know what I'm saying? They didn't postpone one game. You know what I'm saying? They're very, very tight over there with the protocols. The Nets, I don't know. It seems like, and sometimes it's not even just the players being crazy because, like, I think Durant was in the car with an employee of the Nets who had it, who tested positive. So the guy can't even be in the car with an employee of the team. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is what the second time he got into this situation. So it's like, how many times are your players going to get into this situation? And then he even put a tweet out because it was ridiculous what they did to him. They yanked him off the floor for shoot-arounds, right? They ended up letting him play off the bench, and then they yanked him off again. So, he tested positive. He can't play. Bro, he's already playing. So if he's in danger, why not let him continue playing? I don't know, but
Chris said that KD is hooking up with some bad women with some COVID. No, listen, Chris is right though. They might have to start doing an NBA bubble.
Knicks, baby.
They might have to start doing an NBA bubble if this is the case because it's bad for business, especially when Kevin Durant, one of the top superstars in the league, is not playing because he can't pass COVID protocols.
And he had COVID before. It's just the fact that he keep hanging out with people that have COVID.
And you know what? This just adds to the whole this story of the Brooklyn Nets between Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant not being able to play. And now what's going to happen next? James Harden got fat, and then all of a sudden he came back and he wasn't fat.
Do you know James Harden leads the league in minutes?
I know. It's crazy.
Now, all those people who disagree with that trade, look at this guy. He's holding the team down.
He is.
Kyrie don't want to play. Durant don't want to play. Guess who's playing? James Harden.
It's like they knew. It's like they almost knew that this was exactly what was going to happen. It's crazy. And you know what? I feel bad for Brooklyn Nets fans because you guys are still up there too.
First of
So
all, don't feel bad for Brooklyn Nets fans because the team is good. The team is going to make moves, and I think they're going to be in the finals. So don't feel bad about the Nets fans because they're
I feel
fine.
bad
It's
for them
just
right
that
now.
organization is tripping right now with all these COVID stuff. Like
Yeah.
they're out of their minds.
But that goes back on management and the staff. You have got to take better control of these players because listen, the players they want to go out and do their own thing, and I understand that. But you got to be held accountable for taking care of these players and making sure that they're doing the right things.
Yeah.
Like why was Kevin Durant allowed to go into a car with somebody who had COVID?
Well, that's the thing. He probably didn't know that he had COVID. That's the thing. But why?
Well,
But why?
don't
My
the
thing is,
Nets
why
know
is
that?
right? Why are the Nets employees doing whatever they're going to do instead of getting
Correct.
tested, being around the players?
Being around the players, correct?
That's what I'm saying. Like this is ridiculous. And they didn't. I don't know if they specified exactly what kind of employee it was. You know what I'm saying? If it was a trainer or whatever the case may be. But anyway, that person needs to be. All of the employees need to be tested if they're going to be around the players.
Correct.
So it's
And be
ridiculous.
held accountable too. They need to be
Yeah.
held accountable. They have
Yeah.
to there has to be some kind of action taken because Kevin
crazy.
Durant can't miss 7 games of COVID when there's only been 28 games in the season. He's missing a quarter of the games because of COVID protocols. Like
And it's one thing if it's different people. It's him. It keeps being him. What is he doing?
what are you doing?
At this point, just stay your butt home and practice, go to the gym, whatever the case you got to do.
Right.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's and like I said, and listen, and this as a Brooklyn Nets fan, again, I don't understand you saying don't feel bad, but you still want to watch the superstar who couldn't play all last year play fucking basketball.
Yep.
You want to see him play. He's missed 25% of games.
Yep.
You want to see him play.
Yep.
I want to see him play.
Yeah, he wants. He put free me in his tweet after he got kicked out the second time in that game.
Right, He put free me. Right, that's right. Yeah, I feel bad. It is what it is. But you know what? Be better. Be better. Be careful about who you're hanging out with. You're an NBA superstar. Your job is to play basketball. Be better about it.
You're right.
Simple as that. And now we're going to go to our next topic. Trevor Bauer does not sign with the New York Mets. Signs with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Mets fans, let me hear it. Is this a yay that he didn't sign with the Mets, or is this a damn it, I wish Trevor Bauer? Boogie, you're a Mets fan. Tell me, is this a good thing that the Mets did not get Trevor Bauer?
All right, I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like through this whole Trevor Bauer sweepstakes, they made every Met fan hype. Like, yo, just imagine Trevor Bauer being in our lineup with the guys that we already have. Like that hyped every Met fan up. Trevor Bauer even was dangling that fact, you know what I'm saying, on his social media to the fact that he had to apologize to Met fans that he didn't mean to troll. You meant to troll because you used the Mets. The Mets offered this man more money than the Dodgers was offering him, and he still took the Dodgers. So that means that, honestly, in my heart, he used the Mets. Just like Springer used the Mets. He used the Mets. All right. Yeah. So I don't think he had any intention of being a Met. And that's what upsets me as a fan. I mean, he could do whatever he wants. It's his career, whatever. But I can look at the bright side. Now, I'm not going to say, oh, Trevor's trash. He should never get that money, blah, blah, blah. The angle that I'm going to take is, hey, he didn't sign with us. We saved money. That's what I'm going to say. You know, we saved money. So now, instead of paying one man $40 million, now we have the opportunity to pick up cheaper, because I think it was Jake Arrieta was looking at.
Jake Arrieta's on the
block. And they had a new signing. They got a new signing, a cheap signing in the outfield. I forget who it was. Hold on, let me look. But you guys help me out. Help me out. Who they signed, because they supposedly that was taking them out of the Jackie Bradley stakes, but then I read that they still might try to get him anyway. Almora,
right? Yeah. Sandy Almora. Yeah. So, now listen. As a Mets fan, if I'm a Mets fan,
Angelo even said Bauer's trash, that we dodged the bullet.
Listen, Trevor Bauer on stats has a career 4 ERA. Okay, he's had 2 really good seasons. Obviously, 1 Cy Young Award-winning season. The potential is there. Is Trevor Bauer worth $40 million? Probably not.
Not. Yeah.
The problem also is that the Dodgers are going to have to figure something out too, because you just did a huge contract with Mookie Betts.
Yeah, they're way over the luxury.
way over. They're going to be paying so much fucking luxury tax.
Let me ask you, Lou. Let me ask you a question. And actually, Angelo, Chris, please answer this question for me. Okay. Yes, he reinvented himself as a pitcher and stuff like that. But when I look at the stats, his stats don't. Yo, there was a stat that I saw. They said Steven Matz had an ERA under 4 more often than Bauer did, and that's pretty bad. So please explain to me, what is it about Bauer that is the big draw? Like,
you want to know what it is?
What makes him so great? Like,
I'll tell you right now what it is.
Somebody explain that to me.
I'll tell you right now what it is. It's the fact that he can strike out 300 people in a season. That's exactly what it is.
Is it all about the strikeouts?
I honestly think so. Yes. Listen, I'm gonna read you his stats right now. So Trevor Bauer,
right.
this is his 4th team. Okay, Trevor Bauer, during the year that there was no COVID, he almost won Cy Young this year. He struck out 221 guys. He averages about 200 strikeouts a year. Okay,
what was the ERA?
His ERA that year that he had the 221, his ERA was 2.21.
See, that's an amazing. That's a good season.
That's a great season. But the year before
is that the Cy Young season?
4 point. Yeah, he didn't win it though. He didn't win it.
Okay.
The year before that, he was 4.19. The year after that, he was 3.79.
But see, that 4.19 season, I think that's when he was the actual trash pitcher, and then he reinvented himself. I think he came up with his own style, that he changed his mechanics or something like that I had read, and then all of a sudden now his strikeout ratio was very high, and all of a sudden he started working on it, like giving up less runs or whatever. But like I said, overall, looking at his stats, it doesn't look like he's a 40 million per year guy. And like Angelo said, if he deserves 40 million, then DeGrom definitely deserves double that. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree.
Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, if the Mets actually signed him, right? Knowing that they have to sign Conforto, they got to re-sign Lindor. They got people that they have to re-sign. Where are they going to? I'm not saying that obviously Cohen has the bag, but what I'm saying is, where was they going to reconstruct money to sign all the people that they really need to sign if they went crazy and gave this guy 40 million? Because they actually offered this to him.
Right. No, I know.
You know what I'm saying? So what if he said yes? That would have put us in a predicament.
You know, I'm wondering if
I want to go with the yay.
If they did sign Bauer, I'm wondering if it's one of those things where let's say the Mets went to the World Series or even won the World Series. It's one of those things that we literally just spoke about. That it's the Patrick Mahomes thing. Like you're on a Super Bowl or a World Series potential team. If you want to continue this, you're going to have to take less money. But
he was out there to get money anyway. Like, that was his whole.
That's why he only signed a 3-year deal in the first place, because
he was trying to get it. He was trying to get that money.
Right.
Straight up. Right. He wasn't looking for no discount to win a ring. That's not what he was looking for. He was looking for the money. And then he's at his hometown, and he got damn near what the Mets asked him, what the Mets were offering him.
Right, and he's on the defending World Series champion team, the LA Dodgers, which is
and that's what I was saying, Angelo. Like, now they got the money to do all that, to pay these guys that they need to pay. Because I think they need to keep Lindor. Yeah, like, I'm one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? I like Conforto on the Mets. I think they need to keep him too. And not for nothing, I don't know why everybody's so down on Nimmo. Like, I'm okay with him being in center field. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this Amara guy, he could be like a backup, to him. But I'm okay with him being in the outfield. Jackie Bradley Jr., I mean, he's good too. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think I don't know. For some reason, I think Nimmo's good enough. But
honestly, I don't. Nimmo's okay in my opinion, but the problem is that Nimmo also hasn't been staying healthy the last couple of years too. And on top of that, Nimmo was your leadoff guy for a year or two. And your leadoff guy is supposed to get on base, and his on base percentage during those times that he was a leadoff guy was under like 260, if I remember. Like,
that guy plays well. That guy puts it all in the field, man.
No,
like,
he's one of those guys. I understand the heart aspect.
Good club out guy, everything.
I understand that, but if you're going to be the leadoff guy for the New York Mets, you got to get on base, and he wasn't getting on base for you guys toward the end.
Yeah, but would he be the leadoff now? Because
not anymore. But
so
where
now,
do you put Nimmo? Yes, as a number 8, at
6. I'll put him 6, 7, and he can hit. See, that's the thing. It's not like he can't bat. He's not Lagares. You know what I'm saying? Lagares couldn't hit.
No, Lagares is straight
can hit.
defense.
This guy he can even hit home runs when he's not even trying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Like I don't understand why.
I'm gonna look up Brandon
And,
Nimmo
and
stats.
and another thing, Met fans, I have another question. Since we're still talking about pitching, I see they keep going like they're talking about all these lesser pitchers to add, but they're not saying anything about Peterson. Like, is Peterson somebody that they're not trying to keep in the starting lineup? Because I thought he did a hell of a job last year. So
It might
I'm
be
not
one of those things
understanding
where they're
what's going on
trying
with him.
to.
Because I even looked at him on Twitter just to see like maybe is there something going on with him? And he expect to be pitching. So is there something going on with Peterson that I don't know about that they want to keep adding all these other pitchers? Because I thought he had a great season last year.
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Now listen. Brandon Nimmo. All right, real quick. Brandon Nimmo hasn't played a full duration the last 2 years. Right. He played 55 games last year. The year before that, he played 69. The year before that, he played almost the whole season. The year before that, he only played 69. Okay. So his on base percentage is actually it's 390, which isn't that horrible. His career on base percentage. That's actually pretty good. But he's batting only 258. So I'm not saying that Brandon Nimmo shouldn't with those numbers. He should not be your leadoff guy. He should be, like you said. I think a 7-8 guy. You say 6 guy. Potential is there, but he's got to stay healthy. You know, he's the last 4 years he's only been healthy technically 1 year, like a full season. So he's got to stay healthy, in my opinion. If Brandon Nimmo wants to stay on this team, that's what I think.
Hey, but at the end of the day, I think the Mets definitely escaped disaster by because, like I said,
I think he did
I
too.
don't think you know what I mean. Like he's now I'm rooting against him, so I hope he has a terrible year, and I hope it becomes justified. You know what I'm saying? Now that he's on the Dodgers now, you know what I'm saying? They trying to fill their lineup with names. So I want my Mets to do what we got to do without him, and then prove that we didn't need him. That's what I'm hoping for. But I'm not going to say that I wasn't one of the Met fans that was hoping that he did sign with us. But that price was very, very, very high.
Very. I think he dodged a bullet there. If I'm a Yankee fan, if Trevor Bauer said I want to play for the Yankees and I want $20 million a year, I think I would do it. I don't think $40 million though. I don't think he's worth $40 million.
Right.
I think it's just way
right.
too much.
And you're right, Angelo. Like I said, Stanton. You got Stanton. You got then the whole lineup is an injury prone lineup. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Gardner, who's like 75 years old. Like you guys keep it. So it's like y'all whole lineup is always injured. So that's a tough thing to overcome too. So you're right.
Has Gary Sanchez been injured the last 3 years? Because it seems like it.
I mean, he's injured and his batting average is bad. You know what I'm saying? And his defense is bad. So
I'm telling you guys that I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks too. This is going to be Gary Sanchez's last hurrah. I really don't think the Yankees are going to get rid of him. I really don't think so. I think this is going to be his year to make or break something. And if they don't, they're gonna toss him. They're gonna toss him. I think they're gonna try to trade him. And you know that some team is gonna pick him up. Some team is gonna offer us something big for him because of the potential that Gary Sanchez has, and they think that they're going to be able to fix Gary Sanchez. That's exactly what's going to happen. And you know what? It's a Yankee thing for the Yankees to trade somebody and then start doing extremely well. So I wouldn't be surprised if Gary Sanchez. Listen, I would be happy if Gary Sanchez bats 250, 240, 250, and puts up similar numbers than what he does because no catcher
has
really
less
does that.
amount of pass balls that he normally gets to.
That too. I mean, but you know, it's one of those things where you can't be bad at both, right? You can't be
and that's what he's
good
been.
defense and right. You can't be a good defenseman and
then
let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that. You could be a good hitter as a catcher and be a shitty defensive catcher and get away with it because you're picking yourself up on the offense.
Right.
It's the same thing with the defense. You can be a great defensive catcher and hit okay, and people are still going to like you. When you start doing both as a catcher, nonetheless, it's game over. That's why all the Yankee fans hate Gary Sanchez right now. They hate him.
But how can you love half the team? Like you got Hicks, you got Stanton.
Hicks is always hurt.
Like I said, Stanton. You got all these guys.
Judge is always hurt.
Out a lot. Judge is always hurt, and that dude, you need him. Yeah, you need Judge.
I mean, listen. The one year that Judge was healthy was his rookie year, and he almost won. He came second to MVP to Jose Altuve, who cheated that year.
Right.
So it's crazy, but I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, I look forward to catchers and pitchers report very soon.
Yep.
Pitchers and catcher report very soon. So,
and we won't be playing a lot of baseball at that time. So
yeah, so we'll see what happens. But preseason starts in a couple of weeks. They still don't even know what they're doing. If they're doing 162 games, they don't know what they're doing. You know, and remember, even with the 60 game season that they had to delay a bunch of games with Miami. They had to delay a bunch of games with Philly because of protocol stuff. It's all going to happen again. It's all going to happen again. You know, and it's just about to see what's capable of COVID guidelines. What's going to happen? So we'll see. We'll see what's going on. But all right, guys, it is 8:07. We are 7 minutes technically past our time.
That's fine.
That's fine. Thank you guys for tuning in. But listen, we want to thank all you guys. Make sure you guys check us out on YouTube. We are live on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and on Twitch. Lou plays stuff. Check us out until we have our own thing. Boogie and I usually go on Twitch too, so make sure you check us out. Like and share our stuff. Share the page around a little bit, guys. We want to talk about more things with more people. So feel free to do that.
Tomorrow we got the chill.
Tomorrow we got
that's why I don't talk about how my on fire Rangers right now. You know what I'm saying?
On fire.
7th in the East Division, but we'll let them talk about that.
Yep, we'll let them talk about that. But tomorrow, we have Steven and Mitchell with the chill tomorrow. Please be put out of that. If you don't know hockey, please come in and tune in. So maybe you can learn some more about hockey. We know that hockey is like our least favorite sport here on the page. So, but please come in, come say hello. And if anything, we will talk to you guys next week. Episode 18, Boogie. Great job as always. Elfrid Payton should be the starter for the New York Knicks. Congratulations to Tom Brady winning number 7. And we will see you guys next week. Thank you guys for tuning in and have a good rest of your day.
Please follow us.
Please follow us. Elfrid Payton.
Fuck no.